Thank you, everybody, for joining me for another exciting full game commentary here. On the left side of the screen, you have Teacher of Math, that's me, and I am going up against a little bit of an unknown entity. My son, Benny, he has just added locations into his deck for the first time, so you can kind of see him celebrating because he got an Agrabah into his first hand. We are also joined by a table judge on the side there. So just quickly checking one of Benny's cards, you can see she throws it, decides that she doesn't want it. I throw it back, tell her to get out of my house. We are going to roll to see who goes first. Ellie decides that she's going to take a couple of the dice, and so we're just trying to get off to the races here, but the table judge is very stringent and not really letting us do what we need to do. I roll a 3, so I'm not feeling too good until I remember that my opponent here can't add, so he's got to count all the pips on the dice, and I think at this point I probably got the game in the bag. But he does count up all the pips, and it adds up to 7, so we're going to get off here. He is being really introspective here. He knows how important this first ink is. Decides to ink a Pua. That's his only turn 2 play, though, and so I recommend to him, hey, maybe you want that for the next turn. That's the only advice I'm going to give him all game because I really want to win this one. This is an important one. Decides instead to, he's thinking about it. Looks like he's going to ink the Queen. That is the 3-drop 4/3 Queen. He does have, I imagine he's going to want to play Agrabah on 3 because he's really excited about his new location cards in the deck. Then he decides to read to see if Flounder has an effect, and it doesn't, so he decides to play it. It's my turn, so I'm going to ink. Looks like a Peter Pan there. He kind of talks to me there about keeping my cards face up after I ink them. I kind of give him the business and fire the cannons, the Flounder, just to kind of keep that board control. He's messing with the lore. I tell him not to do that, which goes across really well. So again, that Pua is his only 2-drop, so I would imagine he's going to play that. You see him try to palm the Flounder there for a bit, trying to play that card from his discard, sneaking onto the field. Tell him to knock that off. Inks another card, plays the Pua. He is out to a stellar start here. We don't play with effects, so the Pua is simply just a vanilla quester. I ink another card. I play Alina Saberwing, which over 2 turns will trade the Pua, which is pretty good in this format. It takes a little bit longer to kill creatures. Draws an Inkwell, doesn't like him, throws him into the Inkwell. We're going to see what he decides to do. He is going to decide to play Agrabah. Again, this is his first time ever playing a location, so he does remember to play it sideways. Quest with Pua for 2, and passes the turn here, so I'm readying my cards. I draw a Robin Hood. I don't need that in this format, so I'm going to ink it. Pay 3 for, I believe that is that's a 3/3 puppy. I don't remember what it's called. So I'm challenging with Lena Saberwing. I like to let him do the math on this stuff because it helps him practice adding. So I'm going to take 2 damage. He's going to take 1 damage, and it's going to end up being a trade in a turn if he decides to exert next turn. But you know what? You never really know what my opponent's going to do because he's shown that he makes some pretty wild decisions. So he does remember to get his 2 points for Agrabah during the set step. He decides to ready Agrabah, then decides that that's actually not how locations work. Draws a card for the turn, does draw an Aladdin. Let's see what he does with it. Looks like he's going to ink the Tigger. He is a very strength-based player, and he sees that Tigger has 0 strength, decides that he doesn't need it. It's not part of his strategy, so he'd rather play the 2-drop Aladdin here. He's going to pay 2 for that. The Moana in his hand quests for 3. Okay, so see, he tries to quest a Flounder again. I just got to tell him, listen, man, you need to knock that off, because when they're in the discard pile, they're gone, dead and gone. So just quest with Pua. Gets his 2 points. He's at 6. I'm at 0. He really is excited to play that Moana in his hand because it quests for 3, and it's the only card he's ever seen that quests for 3. If I ever have to show him Gantu or Bolt, he's going to lose his mind. Questing for 4 is not even on the radar for him. So I challenge again with Lena Saberwing. He realizes they both get banished, simplifies the board state a little bit. We're trying to get him to consolidate into 1 discard pile. Now I'm going to take my 3/3 puppy into that location. And so it's going to take 3 damage, and he is just learning that locations don't hit back, and he doesn't think that's a good idea. At this point, the table judge, if you notice, decides that we don't really need any more dice, and she lets us know, if we need dice, just let her know, and then she'll give it to us. Draws before he readies. I have to talk to the table judge about that, and she lets him know that's not acceptable. It's got a ready, set, draw. For those of you who don't know, that purple card that I have out, that's a Firebird. That's a 6/2. And I play that because I know that Moana's coming, and it's a 1/6, so I can trade into that pretty cleanly. See if he respects it. Gets another 2 points for Agrabah. He's running away with the game with that Agrabah. Plays the Moana. He is excited about that. Only exerts. There's the 5th ink. Had to be talked to. The table judge there. Decides to quest for 1 with Aladdin. He knows that he's the aggro right now. Gives himself an additional point, but Honest Player takes it away. Love to see it. I'm going to draw for my turn here. I get a Captain Amelia. Again, a 1/5 is not exactly what I'm looking for, so that sucker's going to go straight into the inkwell. I got 5 ink. Going to exert every... Oh, I'm just going to exert 4. I think that's a rolly. It's a 3/4. It's pretty good. I'm questing for 2. Maybe some people will say that I should have gotten the Agrabah out of there, but I kind of value the lore a little bit more at this point. He's going to get 2 more for Agrabah. Go up to 11. And he is just cruising. That Moana questing for 3 becomes very, very relevant. Draws a Simba here. Looking at it, he's like, you know what? I'm going to play this Simba. So he pays 5, plays a Simba. And this kid, I mean, you can tell he really knows what he's doing. Inks the last card in his hand, even though he doesn't need to. And I'm like, you know, maybe you want to play it next turn. But look at this. A big quest for 4. That's going to take him up to 15. And he is excited. You see, yeah, he's celebrating because he loves quests with that Moana. Trying to get that last lore there. Now we are drawing for turn. You can see I'm a little bit nervous, but I got the Firebird ready to rock and roll here. So I'm going to take that Firebird, send it right into Moana. And look at him. He is just stunned. He's like, wait a minute, my 3-quester gone. So I always hand him the dice, and he's like, okay, it's going to be 6 damage. The Firebird survives because it's 6/2. I don't really think he respected the Firebird, and that was kind of his downfall. My little puppy here trades into the Aladdin very cleanly as well. And you can tell that Benny was just not really focused on the trades. He could have left him upright a little bit. But you know, that's a mistake that he's gonna have to learn to live with and figure out. Readies his cards. Let's see if he gets his 2 for Agrabah. He does. If he didn't, I would have reminded him because that's a mandatory game state. Draws the Chaka. Is gonna play Nani for 5. That's a 3/6 with 2 lore. Pays the ink later. Just pays 4 ink here, and I gotta talk to him about that. I'm like, listen, man, you gotta pay all the ink. Gonna quest with Simba. Was it 18? And I am going to clear his board here, I'm pretty sure, and I might even get a couple lore out of it. Draw the Joshua Suite. We don't play with effects though, so the bodyguard not really relevant. I'm sending the Firebird into Simba. Trade's very it's a trade, 1 for 1. So he's kind of letting him do the math here. I don't know what I'm waving my hand about. You can see the table judge is trying to say, I think she's trying to give him a little bit of help here. She's trying to slide him in an extra location, and I don't understand, you know, what I've done, why I'm not getting any help, but she's been trying to slide him cards and give him advice the whole time. Our table judge did tell us that she was 3 years old, so my opponent here gets a little bit dicey, throws the dice at me, and I tell him that's not acceptable, that we got to work on that. Table judge has a word with him as well. So I quest for 4 after that. He does still have the Nani out. And this is where I start to have a little bit of a problem. My opponent starts to slow play me here. Anybody who knows what they're doing is just going to quest with a Nani for 2 and the game. Let's get to game 2 and 3. My opponent plays 4 for Chaka, then decides, wait a minute, I just added this Let the Storm Rage onto my deck. This is his first time with the song. I want to play it. So he's playing Let the Storm Rage on. He's looking at my board, trying to figure out who he can kill. He's like, I want to kill one of these puppies. They're very strong. Or banish, sorry. Decides to go for the puppy with damage, so game state check occurs, and then he remembers that he also gets to draw a card. He's very excited about that. And would you look at that, a happy coming in. He tries to play the Chaka. He's only got 2 ink. Now he plays the happy, exerts an ink. Then he quests for 2, realizes that 18 plus 2 is 20, runs away with the game. Thank you so much for watching that gameplay. If you want to see any other matchups between me and my son, or me and anybody else playing any deck, you just let me know in the comments, and we'll make sure to get that going for you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.